Recording in progress.
Hey everybody, you're listening to Ben and Nate's Questions That We Ask Massage Therapists on the Internet. I am Nathan Fay, and I am accompanied by my amazing co-host, Mr. Ben Stone. Man, we do what we do best, which is we just ask people questions on the internet, specifically massage therapists on the internet, and we talk about the massage and bodywork profession. And we're going to spit out some facts. We're going to be funny for a couple of old guys here, but always originating from real curiosities in our massage community.
We love hearing from you. That's why we have a Facebook page called Ben and Nate's Questions. We ask massage therapists on the internet. We ask questions there. We gather your input, and that's what drives this show. So welcome to the next episode of Ben and Nate's Questions. We ask massage therapists on the internet.
Good to see you all tonight, and thanks for tuning in. Mr. Ben Stone, I think you got a lot of questions for us tonight.
We got a lot of questions. Let me start off with a question I ran across. Do you know about it's a COVID test? Have you heard about this COVID test? I'm going to tell you about it.
All right.
It's you open a can of beer and try to smell it. If you can smell it, then you drink some. If you can taste it, so if you can smell it and taste it, that means you don't have COVID. So I did this test about 15 times last night. And so all the tests were negative. So I'm going to have to keep trying again.
It sounds like my college days, Ben, before we knew what COVID was.
That's right.
So I
we
guess
were testing ourselves for
practicing
COVID before we even knew.
Before we even knew it, before COVID was even a thing.
Yeah.
Well, what the heck makes you talk about that tonight, Mr. Ben?
You know, that leads us again into one of the questions that we asked on our Facebook page. And that question says, do national certifications still hold value, or they are just expensive pieces of paper, and why?
Ooh,
that is a mouthful right there.
That's another banger of a question. And hey, I was seeing real quick, man, I was seeing clients in my practice today, and one of my last clients of the day, I was telling her how I do a podcast. And I was telling her, it got brought up because I told her I was coming to Omaha this weekend. And I said that she's like, well, why do you go to Omaha? And I said, well, a couple reasons, man. I said, they got a great massage therapy community out there. And I said, I also, it's slightly selfish because I get to go see my friend Ben Stone in person. And I told her how I've been doing this podcast with you for a couple years. And it was interesting because she was asking me about it. And her question to me was, is there enough content, right, in the massage community to just keep talking about this stuff? And here we are, Ben, knocking it out of the park again with yet another awesome question.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting close to 50 episodes. We're reaching that milestone. But we haven't even really gotten too far out of our own wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Like, I was on a podcast recently with Mark and his wife, Amanda, and two massage therapists and a microphone. If you haven't heard their podcast, I highly suggest you go listen to at least that episode. But, like he says, the playing field is so big. We don't even realize how big this industry is. There is so much going on that, I mean, I don't think we could really ever run out of material for this.
Nope. I don't think we ever will, Ben. So, with that being said, this whole national certification thing, and does it hold value? And do we need it, right? Do we have to have it? Or is it just this expensive thing that we get? What's the reasoning behind it?
I'm going to first ask you, are you nationally certified?
I am. And of course, now, just to kind of maybe add to this question a little bit, as everybody knows, I think, there's this whole board certification now, right? So NCB put out this board certification. How many years ago do you think they did that? I would say it was probably in the last 10, right?
Yeah, isn't that the same thing as national certification? They just changed the name to national board certification.
I think so, but I also think that they gave you the option of one or the other, unless they turned it around altogether and it's only one now. But let's fact check that because I'm not sure.
And listening to us both being confused about it, that might lend some value to is this even relevant? Is it even is this even necessary to have board certification if we don't even know what it
If
is?
we don't even know what it is, Ben, I mean, that's hey, the episode's over. Thanks for listening.
I know. So you're what are we going to call it? We're going to call it board certified?
Let's stick for tonight's language. Let's just stick to national. Let's just stick to the initial question. I think we should go that route. So you've been licensed now over 20 years. And when you were finishing out massage school, assuming they told you, hey, this is how you're going to go about taking your license test, and this is what happens next. And they probably told you, you should probably join AMTA or ABMP, and this is how you do that. And hey, listen, and you also got to, join and national and NCB. You also have to do that too. Was that told to you to do it?
Well, actually, my the test to get my state license was also the NCB TMB or whatever it was called back then.
Sure. Yeah,
So it
sure
was
it
one and the
was.
same. So I was as soon as I passed my state license, I was nationally certified also.
I went many years just thinking I had to have it. So I went actually probably longer than most people did, just thinking that's what I have to do. And
Yeah,
then
there wasn't
again,
a whole lot of information. It was like, well, if I move to another state, I should probably be nationally certified so that I can get licensed in another state. I had no clue.
right, and you live in a pretty big state. I mean, you could probably fit a couple Connecticut's in Nebraska. So, I mean, I can throw a rock from where I live and I could be in Massachusetts. If I had a really good arm, I could be in Vermont or New Hampshire or Maine. Or, the New York border is just also, about a 45-minute drive from me. So I could be, I could drive into five different states and still be home for dinner. Right.
Yeah.
So, and for me early on, Ben, it was confusing, right? Because I'm like, well, yeah, what if I move? What if I move to Massachusetts? There was a long time I wanted to move to Vermont. So it all just felt pretty confusing. And then come to find out now, because you and I are old men and there was no internet back then, like you said, we just didn't necessarily know what to do. We were just sort of told what to do and we're like, okay, cool, that makes sense, right? And then maybe like, I don't know about you, at what point did you start questioning, do I really need this or not?
Probably about 10, 15 years ago.
See,
10 years ago.
yeah. I guess at this point I would probably say close to that. I would say probably 8 to 10 years ago for me. I was like, do I even need to do this? But then probably in that time frame, and I think we have to fact check this, then they changed it to this whole board certification thing. And I was like, man, that would sound. So I'm just going to give my reasoning right away. I did it because I was like, that's just going to sound good to my clients, right? I'm board certified. Now, little do my clients know, I had to pay a fee. I think at the time, I think when they initially did it, they did ask you to do a few extra things to apply for it. And but I don't think they do anymore. And I did it. And I guess it just looks good on my wall. But
That's
however, yeah, go ahead.
that absolutely. I mean, I think at the time Nebraska required 24 hours of continuing education every 2 years, which was the same as the national certification. So I'm like, well,
Right.
I'm collecting all this continuing education. I might as well. I'm and for a while you only had to renew your national certification every 4 years instead of two like the state.
Right.
And so it was a little more expensive, but I'm like, okay, I'll do this for a little while because yeah, it looks cool on my wall. Um, it sets me apart. But everybody else in the state, they all had to take that same. Everybody in the state of Nebraska, when I got my license, was also nationally certified because we use that test.
Well, okay. So now let me ask you this, Ben, because now you're an independent continuing education provider. I'm a continuing education provider too, but I'm not independent, so there's a little bit of a difference there. So as an independent continuing education provider, do you need this? Is this mandatory for you to have to be a continuing education provider?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't. It's not mandatory in my state. Um, I can just it's kind of frustrating actually because I did reach out to the state and ask them what are the requirements that I need in order to teach continuing education in this state. And they said
Right.
you need to keep track of who was in your class. That's it. Nothing else. No
Yep.
no kind of no nothing. You can see I get a little frustrated when I hear that. So then I'm like, well,
Mm.
the NCB actually has some sort of vetting process where I have to come up with a syllabus, a kind of format. I have to submit a bunch of things to the
Yeah.
NCB TMB to get nationally approved. So I'm like, I feel like that lends a little bit more credibility to what I do. And so then anyone in any state can take my class and they can get credit. Unless you're in New York, I don't have anything against you people in New York, except New York just wants more money, and I'm not willing to pay it because I don't have very
Yeah.
many people. I have zero people in my class from New York right now, so I'm not going
Yeah.
to pay an extra fee.
Right. And I teach again because I'm 45 minutes from the border, and I don't know, I think I've probably taught a half a dozen classes in New York over the years, and but yeah, it's a very different process in terms of what we have to do behind the scenes to make sure those participants make sure that they get their credits, right? So now have you heard about this massage act to try to have our licenses cross the border?
Across the border, state to state, or into
Yeah.
Canada. Okay, yeah,
State to state. Sorry, the board. I am a little Canadian, so that's why it came out that way.
yeah. I
So
forget
you've
what
heard,
that's called.
I
There's a,
know,
there's
and
a name for it.
there is a name for it. Boy, you and I sound like a couple of amateurs tonight, but that's okay.
We at
There's
least
nothing wrong
know
with it.
what we're talking about.
We also want people to know that we're real, which is why we're probably sounding this way tonight.
I
We
do
don't
have a
want people to think we're
license.
too smart.
Yes, we both have massage licenses.
So yeah, so I'm gonna give you my answer right away here. Why I keep it. I'm just gonna let the cat out of the bag.
Okay.
So there is more of a reason than looking good on my wall of diplomas or whatever. Because I'm there's a possibility, I'm stuttering and muttering here. There's a possibility that we might see the day in our career where we're going to need it, especially when things like this massage crossing state to state comes up. And is this eventually going to matter? And is there going to be something where I do let it lapse? And now there's like a big problem where I need it. And now you've got to like jump through the hoop, right?
I have a feeling that if this I forget what it's called. It's on the tip of my tongue, so we'll just call it the national licensing something or other.
Yeah.
If that does come to fruition, it's not going to be through the NCBTMB. So having this national certification, this also fires me up because I feel like um, there's no value to it. I just keep paying, hoping that there's going to be some value to it. And part of me also, I don't know. They do require you to go above and beyond. So I do like that. I do like that part that have set yourself apart from other massage therapists, showing that you're going above and beyond in your continuing education, your learning process, your evolution of massage therapy. I looked
Right.
up, you can look up on the NCBTMB website and see how many people are nationally certified or board certified or whatever you want to call it in your state. I am one of about 20 people in my state who are nationally certified.
Wow,
So
that
that
is
tells you how important it is to people. It is not important at all. Like
man.
this piece of paper, this $250 piece of paper that I have on my wall, it my customers don't care. My employer doesn't care. I've never asked anyone if they are NCBTMB certified when I was hiring because it's a non-issue. It doesn't lend any credibility to almost anything at all. Can you
Well,
see I'm a little fired up about it? And I would love to bring someone on the show and say, "Hey, tell me why I'm doing this. Tell me why I'm still paying you money for this piece of paper that really is does me nothing except for gives me national approval to teach classes." And I just raised my hand because I was talking with my hands so much that on our Zoom call I raised my own hand.
got an
I,
emoji.
I don't know how to put that down, so we're just gonna leave it there for a little bit.
So Ben, the Massage Impact, the Interstate Compact is what
There
this
it
is
is, the
called.
Interstate Compact. Yes,
And let me just read a quick description here. So, because maybe, probably like other things, some of our listeners may have no idea about this. And I'm going to drop a couple other facts here. So, Impact will enable licensed massage therapists to practice in all states that join the compact, rather than get an individual license in every state in which they want to practice. This page that I follow, which is called Impact, Impact's Interstate Massage Compact. How many licensed massage therapists in the U.S. you think? A lot,
um,
a lot. There's 900.
200,000. I don't
There's
know.
989 followers to this page.
Okay,
So, they're working hard, whoever these people are, and they've got, let me just read a couple more things. So, here is the current states where the legislation has been enacted. All right.
yeah,
One, two, three, four. There's 5 states where it's been enacted. There's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, where they are currently have pending legislation. Interestingly enough, Connecticut and New York, where I'm from, is legislation pending.
yeah.
Montana, Nevada. Let's see. Montana, Nevada. I'm gonna put the rest of the states in our comment section. Okay.
Sure.
So that's what we're looking at right now. But again, that has nothing to do with our topic at hand tonight.
I think it does.
Well, it does, but
Because
not
think
necessarily
about
the main event.
there are states that don't even require licensure. And I can tell you, I live in between some. Kansas does not require licensure. South Dakota does not require licensure. And I don't want to spout lies, but it might be licensure per city or county or
Yeah.
township or something like that. But it's not a state licensed thing in both of those states.
Right. Right.
So then, we have states like that, and then we have states that, require licensure, and then we're trying to get this, what's it called again? The national,
Impact.
the,
Oh,
yeah,
the
what's,
and National Certification for Therapeutic Massage and Body Work.
no, 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 the Interstate Act. Is
The
it
Impact,
Interstate?
yeah, yeah, Impact Interstate Massage Compact. Excuse me.
Okay. So then we're trying to run this interstate compact thing
Right.
where we have like something needs to be done. I'm not in a position to do anything about it, but I know I fully support the AMTA because they are behind pushing some of this stuff. Some states have a very active AMTA. Some states are active as ABMP, but I don't think AMBP is as active in the government stuff as the AMTA is, and I think that's why AMTA is beneficial. That's that's my 2 cents for the AMTA.
Yeah.
I just know Nebraska has a good chapter.
Well, and of course, being in the and I don't want to get too off topic here, but being in the
Yeah.
continuing education world tonight, like you and I are, um, y- these things also could potentially, right? Licensure, national certifications, right? How regulated and how mandatory is continuing education? In Canada, right? They got rid of it altogether a couple years ago. A lot of our good friends up there that run massage conferences, Scott Dartnell, Mark, and all those folks, they feel like it's actually hurt their programs. And back a long time ago when I became a continuing education instructor, Kim Miller and Eric Dalton always said to me, "Hey, listen, you're not going to do well going to states that don't require continuing education." And I've actually have had some of my most successful classes in some states that don't require continuing education. California, San Francisco being one of them, have been some of my most successful classes. And I have, out of 4 classes in Canada, they have been all significantly huge classes. So I I also think that this part of it matters too, right? Continuing education and requirements for the therapist have to play a role in this somehow. And maybe they don't now, but ultimately they're going to need to. But that's
Yeah,
probably another episode.
when I hear you say that, this is the thought that comes to my mind. The most important part is the education part. That's
Yeah,
something that is only going to make you more valuable to yourself, to other people, to the industry. Nobody
sure.
can take, once you learn something, nobody can take that away. Nobody can tax it. Nobody can, that's yours. Versus how valuable is this piece of paper on the wall that
Right.
says, hey, I am nationally certified. I feel like it might be more important in an area like you're in where there's a lot of people and maybe more, I'm going to say competition, but that's not the right word. Um, where people see that you're nationally certified, like, ooh, I'm going to go to him versus, somebody else. But really, we both know the general public doesn't know about it and they don't care about it.
Probably not. Probably not. I know as a whole, the clients in my room, when they offer up nice things to say on their own, and it's not all the time, but sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, I tell people that I see this massage therapist that's board certified and has this degree and this degree and that degree." And at the end of the day, if I took that degree down, if nobody knew, would it change anything in my practice? Probably not, right? It's like the awards. We talked about the awards a few episodes ago and all the best of awards. I don't hang them up anymore. It hasn't changed anything, right?
No.
Nobody's gonna know, right? So but for now, Ben, I'm keeping it, man. I'm gonna keep it because I guess I'm just like that old man that's just afraid something's going to happen. And it's keeping that $2 bill in your drawer just in case you're going to need it one day.
Let me give you an example from the great state of Nebraska. And if you know anything about Nebraska football, we can't let go of this. We used to be good back in the 90s. We have a couple of national championships. And then our coach left. And when we had a 9-2 season, we couldn't handle that. So we had to fire the coach. And then we got another coach. We didn't like what he did. And then we got another coach, and then we got another coach, and then we got another coach. So now, 20 years later, we're still hanging on to this belief that we're going to find a coach that'll get us back to where we were in the 90s. And so that's why my dad still has season tickets, and we go to football games all the time. And I'm thinking, why are we doing this? Like, I mean, I'm still a fan. I went to school there. I'm always going to be a fan. But I think about what is the benefit of buying season tickets versus if I were to just buy one or two tickets to the games I wanted to go to and even pay more per ticket, I would still be money ahead. So I'm hanging on to the hope that someday we might be better again. And so I feel like this is kind of similar. We're both you and I are maybe hanging on to the hope that maybe someday this NCBTMB will turn into something different, which is could be a valid question. Like what could this turn into? Like I have seen that they are offering like you said, some sort of certification in say like sports massage. I think they were offering like some type of sports massage specialty certificate or something like that. I don't know that that's the way to go, but what could they evolve into that would make us happy about hanging on to this certification?
I don't know, Ben, but you were telling that story about Nebraska, and I got that same story, but having to do with the Boston Bruins. And, we do the exact same thing here in Boston. And it's probably the same reason that I hang on to cryptocurrencies like XRP and stocks like GameStop, hoping that one day I'm just going to wake up and it's going to be, as the stock people say, to the moon. And every day, man, I still got to go to work. So we we got some interesting. I think we got a lot of good responses too. So you and I,
Yeah, that's great. We should talk about what's on our Facebook page.
you're passionate about this, and it's sometimes we both get passionate, but it's interesting that it's cool to see you get kind of fired up about this.
It's
I
well,
want,
it has to do with money. I'm spending this money.
yeah,
I
well,
want
of
value for my
course,
money.
yeah,
And what value are you giving me, NCBTMB? I
right,
really, other than my national approval for CEs,
right,
to provide CEs, I'm not seeing it.
right.
Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I want, what can you give me?
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because I mean, on a licensure level, on an insurance level, I'm part of ABMP. That's really not an, and when you really do the math, it's a pretty cheap, uh, what is it, $300 for the year. So I get my insurance. They actually have a not it's not like a renter's insurance per se, but if something happens to my building, there's a flood, there's a fire, then they'll cover my equipment up to $10,000. And by the way, I was used to pay for that through like a State Farm insurance company. That was $600 for the year. So I get that perk through ABMP. I get like a magazine every few months. I get access to all kinds of free education if I log into their website. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. I feel like I get a lot of bang for my buck. And I guess if you pose the question, why do I have this NCB certificate? I keep saying I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just our answer. I don't know. So here's what people said, man. It of course our good friend Barb McKenney once again, right?
Hey,
And
Barb.
so she parrots what we just said. Never once has anybody asked her. And to me, someone has figured out how to pass a test, and it doesn't necessarily show you what they know, right? How smart they are, or how their hands are. So, right, there's no. So what she's saying is, you have this piece of paper, but it doesn't make you a better or worse massage therapist. There's no standard for that either.
Well, I mean, the standard for staying nationally certified is 24 continuing education hours every 2 years.
Right.
So I feel like that's, there's something to that. If you're gonna go through that, that's can only help you as a massage therapist.
Right. And absolutely, Ben. And I want to say something else too, because I brought up the thing about, since we're uh, tapping into the water of continuing education a little bit here. So Apparently, I'm coming to Omaha this weekend, and apparently, I missed the deadline for continuing education. Right, like
Right.
your guys' stuff due when, like Friday?
Yep. Midnight by October 31st.
Yeah, and here I am, like rolling in, coming in hot Saturday and Sunday to teach a 16-hour course. And you know what? I actually think it's pretty cool that I got a close to sold out class a day after the deadline. And not only does that tell me that people are just dedicated to learning, actually, that's what it tells me. People are dedicated to learning. And, maybe they get a head start. Are you guys every year or every 2 years?
2 years.
2 years. So then, hey, they got a head start. But either way, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel
So,
like the people that are going to be attending Nate's class are the ones that are not there to check the boxes.
yeah,
They're there for the information, for the learning.
yeah, it's pretty cool, man. So, let's see. Working towards the NCB certification, this is another answer here, requires an extra effort. Now, this was interesting, right? She goes on to say the fact that it's a private company makes it somewhat misleading. She goes on to say potentially misleading to clients. I think that the general population equates taking boards or board certified with medical boards, which are state run agencies. And so interesting how she hashes that out. And let's see.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't. I don't know that there's a correlation between medical boards and like massage boards, but being publicly or state run versus private, I don't know that that's a big deal. Like I
I
didn't think about that when I took the test.
I didn't think about that either. And but I feel like what Susan is saying is that, who's really minding the store at the end of the day,
Yeah.
right? So like if you were a chiropractor or physical therapist or a medical doctor per se, there's certainly a lot more minding of the store when it comes to rules, regulations, scope of practice, having a piece of paper, things like that. And again, it's just lacking. And actually, that leads me in nicely to one of our other answers is that, Jenny R goes on to say that she said that, you get a pass or fail grade, right, when it comes to the testing part. And so I feel if it's not important enough to tell you what you got wrong, then the educational piece is lacking. So her answer is expensive piece of paper, which is that's a kind of an interesting perspective too.
Yeah, back before I got initially licensed and went to massage school, um, there was a portion of the state licensing program where you had to actually do practical work in front of a state board exam person, and you had to do practical work in front of them. I was not I did not have to do that, but it was not too much before my time where people had to do that. That's when they switched over to this national testing, national certification testing. So that they incorporated the practical work into school. So the schools picked up that work.
Now, for my osteopathic final, I had to, basically do what you just talked about. So that's
So you had to
exactly
do
what I had to
a
do.
practical exam.
And in front of jury of judges and executioners. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and I was given 7 different uh, case studies, if you will. I got to pick one. So you could pick one out of what they sent me, and I had to do a history intake, an assessment, give all my whys, who, what's, where's, and when's, and then perform a 15-minute treatment, and then demonstrate my outcomes afterwards.
yeah.
And by the way, pass that with flying colors.
Nice. I mean, I had no doubt, but
So I get the feeling that majority of our friends just kind of are just feeling a little dirty and a little blah about this whole thing.
Yeah. Um, so what say you is the future of, you know, professional credibility, based on certifications and pieces of paper, or is it, our actual know-how and how we're able to treat people?
I mean, ask me that question one more time. I got to wrap my head around that one more time.
Oh, so our professional credibility. I'm thinking about this too as I'm asking you. Our professional
Yeah.
credibility in massage, is it based on that piece of paper and what we, the things that we've learned and the piece of paper that says we learned this, or is it our ability to our reputation and how we're able to treat people?
Well, I don't know, Ben. You don't get to point B without point A.
Right.
So I think that our reputation and our ability to treat people is because of like all the work that we put into it. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of, I guess in a way I'm kind of I'm partially a piece of paper nerd. And now that doesn't mean every continuing education class. I'm not one of these guys that puts literally everything up. I've got four on my wall. I've got my diploma from Connecticut Center for Massage Therapy, right? 2004 to 2006. I've got my Freedom from Pain Institute Master Myoskeletist diploma. I have my diploma from London College of Osteopathy. And then I have my National Certification Board certification hanging up.
It's about the same as what I have. I have
Yeah.
uh my degree from the University of Nebraska, my associate's degree from massage therapy. I have my Freedom from Pain Institute, and then I have my national certification. I have those four.
And I don't know. I think when my clients, see the wall, they're like, cool. There's a trust, there's a confidence. They probably brag about it a little bit more than we know. And I'm sticking to my guns here that the old man in me is holding on to it like I hold on to GameStop and XRP.
So you're gonna keep it.
I'm gonna keep it, Ben.
The
That's
future
that's
of Nate is staying nationally certified or
I'm
board
gonna
certified or whatever it's called.
whatever it's called. And how about what say you, Ben?
Yeah, I'm the same with you. Every time I have to renew my national certification, I think about it a little bit harder, but I also promote it. Like I'll throw it out on Facebook, I'll throw it out in an email to my clients. Hey, guess what? I'm one of 20 nationally certified, nationally board certified therapists in this area.
I
And that
picture
sets me apart.
I
I
picture
feel like
Ben.
it should.
It does, and I think it does, Ben. I think it does. I really think it does. And although I just don't have clinical reasoning behind it, but here's what I picture, Ben. I picture when it comes time for you to renew, you're like Cameron and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. When Ferris wants him to spend his day off, and Cameron's laying in bed, and he's like, "I'll go, I'll go, I'll go." He'll keep calling me. He'll keep calling me. I'll go, I'll go.
That's
I
exactly
feel
right.
I feel like that's what's going to happen. So, anyway, well, I think there you have it, man. The two of us are remaining strong, and man, I think out of everything that we kind of talked about, and I actually like the fact that we fumbled through some of this stuff because it showed that we're just not as perfect as we think we are,
We're
Ben.
real people, folks.
We're
We're real
we're real
people.
people. But the most staggering thing that you said to me tonight, and now you're gonna make me, I'm gonna look this up tonight. Um, is 20 people in your state. That actually blew my mind tonight. So
Yeah,
I'm
you can go to the NCBTMB website and you can filter by your state and you can see how many people in your state are actually nationally board certified.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it
Yeah.
tonight. And we're gonna put that comment in. So Ben, when I started doing polls on Spotify.
Spotify, what was our last poll that you did?
So we just did a conversation about massage competitions and do I
Okay.
think they hurt or help our industry? And guess what 100% of the vote across the board is? I think you're going to be in shock and awe.
They're going to say that it helps our industry.
Shock and awe. 100% across the board. There you
I mean, I
have it.
think, like I said last time, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So then what's the poll we're going to throw up for this episode?
It's going to be the question,
The
right?
question.
I think that's a good poll question. And I'm asking Gemini right now as we're talking, Ben, how many people are nationally certified in massage in Connecticut? And let's see if it knows the answer to this. All right. Let's see. You know what? Oh, okay. Well, this is interesting. One source indicates this isn't the answer, but there's one source indicate that there's almost 5,000 licensed massage therapists in Connecticut.
Wow,
Do you
that's
know
a
how many
lot.
license, do you know how many massage therapists licensed are in Nebraska?
There's about 1,500.
Yeah, that's wild. That's actually a pretty interesting statistic. And but right now, so Gemini doesn't have that number, but I'm going to look it up later. So
Yeah, I just did a quick search on the NCBTMB website, and there are 8 pages worth. Well, actually, no, I'm not. This isn't coming up right. So we'll figure it out and we'll let you know because I'm going to repost on my Facebook page how many I find.
okay. And we want you to do your own homework. So we want you, if you're listening to this, comment below what state you're listening from and how many nationally certified NCB therapists there are in your state. And we
We want to
want both
know.
numbers. We want how many is your state licensed? How many licensed massage therapists are in your state? How many are how many of you have the board certification? So that's going to be our question tonight.
Yeah, let us know. We genuinely want to know. And if you are board certified, why do you continue to be board certified? Let us know
Love
your
it.
reason for that because you heard both Nate and I's answers, so we want to hear yours. So also, Nate, tell the people if they like the show, how can they support what we're doing?
Keep listening to us, but definitely like and follow our Facebook page, Ben and Nate's Questions that we ask massage therapists on the internet, and interact with the questions. I think that's the most important thing that you can do is interact with the questions. And that helps us keep our content going. And that's what you can do.
So once again, you are listening to Ben and Nate's Questions. We ask massage therapists on the internet. Find us on our Facebook page with the same name. Interact with us, and we want to thank you for listening.
Have a nice day.